Hey guys, Bluebear Crypto back with another video, and we've got a busy one today because winter is officially over. These boys don't need to heat up this room anymore. This Octominer does not need to heat up this room anymore. And this KS2 Lite does not need to heat up the kitchen anymore. So we are going to be getting them all outside, and we're also going to give them a dusting before we take them into the shed. What I'm thinking with this is I'm going to try and be super lazy. I'm hoping that I can transport these and this extremely sturdy sellotape will keep them up. It's actually done really well. You just can't. It's one of those things where it's so simple that it works. However, that is kind of like quite close to falling off. So is that one. And yeah, they're very dusty. We need to do a good dusting. So I managed to get it in one piece. It turns out 6 KS0 Pros are actually pretty heavy compared to what you'd expect for one. But we managed to do it. We're slowly getting there. I need to clean these now. So off to the table.
As we're going through the dusting section, I thought I'd go through the profitability of these bad boys. So there's 6 KS0 Pros that I currently have, and they've made a total of around 12,683 Casper, which is roughly worth $1,518 as of the 13th of May 2025. I'm expecting Casper to moon this alt season, and that's when profits will be taken, but don't take my word for it. Fun fact, I'm fairly certain the KS0 Pro was the last Casper miner where you could return your investment in about 6 months if you bought them as soon as they came out. There was a time when these came out and then the price of Casper shot up and you could just take advantage and get your money out. I haven't done that. I've kept all of my Casper because I think it is going to go higher than that. These bad boys were so profitable when there weren't as many big boy Casper ASICs. I don't think we'll ever see returns that quick again unless the prices explode. Currently, 1 KS0 Pro will lose me around 9p a day at my electricity rate of 6.7p per kilowatt hour. So I'm hoping the price shoots back up, making these profitable once again. I bought my first KS0 Pro a few weeks after they were released, and when I saw how profitable they were and how the gains weren't falling faster than I expected, I got 5 more a month or so later. Smaller home miners like this were perfect for winter as there was barely any noise from them and they're just a bunch of mini radiators. Now onto the KS2 Lite. I bought this fully knowing that I may never return my investment on this as there's so many higher hash rate models that basically make this obsolete. I bought this in October 2024 and it was probably breaking even once it got delivered a few weeks later. From then on, it's been in the red. But since I've been using it as a heater at home, the cost offset from using the standard gas heating means I've probably saved money once I take profits on the coin when I sell. Currently, the KS2 Lite is losing 4p a day at my electricity rate, but since the price of Casper is going up, we may be profitable very soon. And here we have one of the original Canon Avalon Nano 3s. This miner is still going strong, believe it or not, after being on high hash rate mode since I got it. I've been solo mining Bitcoin Cash since the beginning and haven't hit a block yet, so no gains on this one unfortunately. But if you were interested, pool mining profitability on this is a loss of 6p a day at my electricity rate. Not too bad for saying it released in Feb 2024. Current probability chances are a 1 in 1.5 million chance of hitting a Bitcoin block daily, so don't hope too hard if you're waiting. This is my S9J that was bought during the winter of 2023 after being convinced it was a good idea during a live stream. I bought this for around £120 on eBay and it works really well to keep the downstairs area warm on the super cold nights and mornings. It seems to be on its way out now as it can't mine consistently after a few hours unfortunately, but it makes such a small amount of Bitcoin it's just not worth fixing. This is just a spare rig I use for my Nvidia cards when I wanted to split AMD and Nvidia cards to separate rigs, which I strongly recommend as AMD cards are usually a bit more unreliable and there's a higher chance of the whole rig shutting off from one card failing. Here we have my current open air GPU mining rig consisting of 4 6600 XTs and one 3060 Ti. The 6600 XTs were the first cards I specifically bought just for mining and they are still going strong. Usually, the only time they stop hashing is because a rise has failed. I bought the 3060 Ti shortly after the 6600 XTs, and these cards were mining Ethereum back in the glory days when it was hard to GPU mine and not be profitable. Feels so long ago now. This is a KD6 mining Cadena which I'm currently hosting. Anybody that bought these got stung hard back in the day. The combination of Cadena's price falling off a cliff after people bought them but before they were delivered, and then an insane onslaught of newer, higher hash rate, more efficient miners were announced and delivered even faster, so any profitability you were expecting was just shattered. Really bad times for Cadena miners here. But it is still really good at drying off your laundry if you need it to.
Okay, I've done everything else. I just need to do this now, and I'm really, really not looking forward to it. If you don't know, if you move an Octominer, there's a pretty good chance that something will just stop working. So I'm making this little clip right now so I can look back at all the good times that I had with the Octominer when it was fully working. There was nothing wrong with it. It didn't kill any of my graphics cards. This is basically just insurance to say, why did you do that?
And here we have the most expensive setup out of all of my rigs, an Octominer 8X Ultra with 8 3070 Ti's. I was a bit scared of getting this at the start, because it's custom made. If it goes wrong, getting spare parts is either not easy or just not going to happen and you'll need to buy a new one. But this works so well with Hyperwest, and the external and internal temperature sensors are quite useful. Down the line, I think I'll definitely be buying more case style GPU rig setups. If you don't know, the fans you see are actually meant to be on the inside of the case, but because the GPUs are so unnecessarily large, I had to move them to the outside. This has been running for about a year and a half and has never let me down. Touch wood.
Here we are, looking kind of fresh and clean. This is just such a clean setup. I'm so happy with this. We just need to get the top on, get it back on this shelf, and then I'm pretty happy to say that we are back, boys. We've got the original GPUs. We've got the Octominer, which came after. Then we've got the KS0s, the KS2 Lite, the Avalon Nano 3, which is probably why a lot of you subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Wow, it takes a lot of effort to just rearrange, tidy up, blah, 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 blah. Cool, right. Let's crack on.
So that's it. Everything I have is now back in the mining shed, and I'm so ready for a 2025 alt season. We are right at the edge of watching an explosion of liquidity. To keep it professional, it's going to be sick. Everything is chugging along nicely, and I also don't talk about them very often, and I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm so happy with these AC Infinity fans. They were a big chunk of money compared to the other fans, but the setup and multiple connection aspect of it really sold it for me, and they work perfectly, and they're pretty damn quiet as well for the amount that they pull through. So I'll leave this video here, and you'll probably see all of this and hopefully more efficient miners moving back into the house in winter so we can make the most of that precious heat. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what you want to see in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.